Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Goldie and this is the Lazy Ballerina Club. And in today's video, we are going to be talking all about ballet teaching methods, ballet strategies, and my experience and journey becoming a full-time ballet teacher. I really have no idea what I'm doing. So if you're interested in trying to figure out my teaching method or strategy with me, then make sure you're subscribed down below, like this video, and let's figure it out together. Here's the thing. The reason why I don't feel very confident sitting down to do this video today is because I am a new ballet teacher. I have taught ballet in the past, but it was never my full focus. All of the drama that goes into being in a company takes up a lot of space in your brain. So by the time I got into the studio to teach, the last thing I was even able to do was think about who I wanted to be to these students. Hindsight's 2020, and now that it's my full-time job, I have been trying to figure out how I want to inspire my students, what I want to portray to them, what is important to me, what shouldn't be so important, and all of the things in between. So I have all of the ages you can possibly think of. 2-year-olds, and then I have my 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, 6 years old. Then I have my 2nd graders and 3rd, 4th, and then we get to 5th grade and 8th grade. And I think the oldest I have are my 10th graders. That is quite the age gap. So within each age, obviously there are so many different things that you can think about. I wouldn't be the same ballet teacher with my 2-year-olds as I would be with my 10th graders. So that's another reason why I've really been trying to take the time, because I have to put on a lot of hats during my day and switch from my 2-year-old Miss Goldie ballet teacher to my 10th grader Miss Goldie ballet teacher, and that is quite the shift. When I teach my little ones, so 2 years old to 5 years old, even 6 years old kind of, I am trying to be as magical as possible. I think that's the easiest way to explain it. They are ruthless. They will call out every single thing that you don't want them to see, and they will see it in 2 seconds. There is something so special and pure, genuine with the little ones. They don't have egos. They're not looking at themselves in the mirror, insecure. They are coming in and they are ready to have the time of their life. I'm thinking about really listening to them and getting on their level and making eye contact with them so they feel heard and seen in that ballet class. Obviously, with the younger ones, there are a bucket of challenges that come with it. They might be terrified to even step into the studio. They might take a couple of weeks before they even do anything, and they might just stand there and look at you. Or maybe they don't like another kid in class and they start hitting them, or maybe they pee their pants in the middle of class. All of those things have happened in the past 2 weeks of teaching. It's all normal. As I get older, more rules come into place, more responsibility come into place, and with my 6-year-olds to like 10-year-olds is a very tricky age because they are discovering their own voice. They are testing some boundaries. So if I say, okay, it's time to go across the floor, they all of a sudden say, I don't want to go across the floor. Or they say, well, why didn't you say that I did a good job and you only said they did a good job? They are so aware and they're so smart and they see everything, just like the little ones. They are so with it and you really can't get away with much. Those are my 6 to 10-year-olds, and then we get into 11, 12, 13, 14, and oh my gosh, if I thought my 6 to 10-year-olds were a challenge, 11, 12, 13, 14 is a really, really, really tough age. This age, the tricky age, and I also feel like it's the most sensitive age in a ballet class. We are dealing with puberty. We're dealing with boys at school or girls at school. We're dealing with drama. Life gets a little tricky in middle school. I remember that I had a really hard time in middle school. With that age group, I think I want to be the most aware and most intentional. If they have a bad experience in ballet and they have a teacher that isn't sensitive to them or treats them in a negative way, I think that really affects them. That age group is the one where I'm the most thoughtful about. Then I have my 9th graders and 10th graders. They are mature, they're independent, and I feel like by 9th grade or 10th grade, they have made the decision for themselves if they want to continue dancing or they don't want to continue dancing. So they want to be there. I feel like I can give them difficult things, I can challenge them, I can make them think, I can give them more of an enjoyable class and more of like a normal, straightforward ballet class instead of breaking down every single thing that they need to think about in my younger classes. There's a little more trust, there's a little more maturity, individuality, respect, and I have the most fun with my older ones. Now that I've kind of broken down each age group, here's the part where I get stuck every time because I don't know what kind of teacher I am. I don't know what I should be saying in those classrooms. I don't know how to inspire them. I think, and what I'm telling myself is that comes with time, that comes with experience, and that comes with trial and error, unfortunately. I've never felt this before. I didn't feel this when I was in a ballet company. I haven't felt this really ever in my life, but I think I'm having a little bit of imposter syndrome. I have all of this knowledge in ballet. I know how to dance as best as I can, but I feel pretty confident in my ability. I've been in a company, I've been around the block in that way, and I feel like I know how to be successful in a company environment. But when it comes to teaching, I don't have that much experience. Just because you are a professional ballet dancer does not immediately translate into a beautiful, phenomenal ballet teacher. A lot of dancers that do that transition lack a lot of the teaching tools that those students desperately need for successful ballet careers or successful self-esteem issues. That is where ballet gets a little dangerous. We have our older generation of ballet dancers that grew up in ballet classes, then they got into a company with their teachers. Some of those older generational teachers have some old school ways of teaching. So they put all of their trauma and their baggage onto their students, and those students grow up and become professional ballet dancers and find their own trauma and experience their own baggage, and then they take their trauma and put it on the next generation of students, and that is the cycle that we're kind of in the ballet world, and that is why I feel so responsible. There is no reason why I need to bring all of my trauma and baggage and experiences onto these students and their ballet journey. When those students are done with their dance class, they go home and they talk to their parents about their ballet teacher, and when they grow up and they go into college, their ballet teacher comes into play then. But since it's been about 2 weeks with my students and my fall semester with all of my classes, this is how I've kind of been approaching my classes. With the little ones, we've already talked about it. I am Princess Goldie. I am the most magical creature they've ever seen. They're easy, they're fun. We giggle, we laugh, we talk, we play. That's a good time. Then we get to the 6 to 10. That one's tricky for me. The biggest thing that I struggle with as a ballet teacher is that I want them to like me. I want to be the cool ballet teacher. I want to be the fun ballet teacher. I want to be the teacher that when they see me walk into the room, they're like, oh my gosh, I get to have Miss Goldie today, instead of, oh my gosh, we have ballet today. How do we get through this hour with Miss Goldie? Oh my God, that would break my heart if my students felt like that. There's a fine line between being the teacher that everyone likes and being the fun teacher, and also being the teacher that they respect and that they feel inspired and want to work hard for because of who that teacher is in the classroom. And that is kind of where I'm at in my journey. When I was in middle school or in high school, I was too cool for school. I was the class clown. I was the one making jokes the whole time. I was the one that was hanging on the bars and not really trying as hard because I felt like I didn't didn't need to. Probably was my teacher's nightmare now that I'm teaching and I realize. I am trying to use that as my advantage in the studio. I have those types of students. I feel like I can really connect with those dancers instead of disciplining them and making them feel badly about who they are and telling them they can't speak for the whole entire class. I am trying to reframe that and really highlight all of my students' unique individual personalities while still respecting me as the teacher and respecting the class and really working hard. I think there is beauty behind celebrating your uniqueness in the ballet class instead of punishing it and forcing every dancer to be exactly like the dancer next to them, because that would be miserable. If I had to say what my teaching philosophy was or how I am in the studio, I really try to not make it as deep. It doesn't have to be this serious thing when you walk into a ballet class. I want you to enjoy class. I want you to explore your individuality as a dancer. I want to have a good time in my ballet class. I am someone that gets bored very easily, and standing at the bar and doing plies and tendus for an hour and a half sounds like torture to me if the teacher is not engaging and fun and inspiring. When I walk into a class, I always start by asking how their day was. Did anything happen during their day? Is there something that I need to know before we start? Really try to form a relationship with my students instead of saying, okay, to the bar, let's start, we're late, we gotta do things, blah, 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 blah. Ugh. I would hate that. The second thing is I always try to make my students laugh, as simple as that sounds. I want them to be engaged in the conversation and I want them to feel like it is a conversation, and instead of me just barking orders at them, it would feel terrible as a ballet student, and I want to keep their minds going, especially for my 10-year-olds and 5th graders, that little chunk. I am constantly asking them questions. Why do you feel that we do it this way? What could we possibly work on to make this one easier? What does that translate into in your hip hop class or jazz class or into the center in your ballet class? Trying to paint the picture that it's not just about tendus and plies and sautés. It is all a part of a bigger mission. I'm actually surprised at how much I want to say in this video, and I feel like I can break up this topic and maybe make it into a series on this channel as I discover my own teacher voice and grow. Like I said, I know how to be a dancer, but I still am discovering how I can inspire my students in the way that will work for them as individuals, because maybe my sarcasm and my sense of humor and joking about tendus and pointing those feet and jumping or whatever might not register to a person in the class, or maybe I come off a little too strong and I'm a little too bubbly, or I don't know what's going on in your head. Maybe you think I'm weird when I'm at the front of the class. I am committed to taking the time to kind of reassess and establish who I want to be in the class, and my biggest goal as a ballet teacher is to make my students feel seen and heard and respected, and know that I'm on their team. I am here to help them instead of demanding that they be the dancer I want them to be, because it's so not about me. It is all about them. Something that is new to me, because a couple of months ago I was on the other side. I was the one dancing, I was the one in class, and now the tables have turned and I really want to make an impact on their life, and I want them to look back at their ballet years and feel good about everything that they did in the classroom. And before I talk for another 45 minutes on this topic like I already have, let's end it there, but let's keep this conversation open. Send me your questions, comments, concerns, your thoughts about ballet teaching. Maybe you are a ballet teacher watching this video today, and let's keep this conversation going. Leave a comment down below. I would love to talk to you all about this, because as you can see, obviously I'm very passionate about this conversation. Instead of making this an hour-long video, let's break it up, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.